All right, so the weekly entry you have to do, you have to write your point of view paragraph about the Wright brothers. So over here, I know that that is informational text. So I'm going to put that over here. I read an informational text. So I've got another tally I'm going to put right here. Okay, so now I've got two tallies. Let me zoom in. I put two tallies there. Okay, and I'm going to come over here to my reading log. This is my 15th entry. I'm going to type, let's see, the name of the text is The Wright Brothers. There is no author. Okay, so I've got The Wright Brothers. The Wright Brothers. Okay, the author is unknown. It is informational text. And I read this yesterday, but I'm going to put today, which is March 2nd. Okay, and my one word response. What did I think about it? Interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to, this is the one I did about Zap. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make a copy of this one. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, I want to make a copy of it. Control C, and I want to put it at the top. Control V, move it up. Okay, I have it up there. And then I want to make a copy of the frame paragraph. So I'm going to hit Control and C, and then I'm going to put it back up here at the top, right here. Control V to paste. All right, now I'm ready to write. Okay, so I'm going to put the date. I got my name. I'll put the date, which is March 2nd. Name of the book or article is called The Wright Brothers. Wright Brothers. It is informational text. Okay, informational text about two brothers who invented airplanes. Two brothers who invented airplanes. All right, point of view. All right, so do I think the Wright brothers were good inventors? Point of view of the character and yours. Okay, the Wright brothers believed they were great inventors. Okay, how do I know that? Well, let's read it. Orville and Wilbur Wright were two brothers. Wilbur was born in 1867 in Millville, Indiana. Orville was born in 1871 in Dayton, Ohio. Although these brothers were born at different times and places, they both loved mechanics. Okay, they loved mechanics, how things work. So they probably believed they were good inventors because they loved how things work. Neither of the brothers went to college. College was not common in their time. They both had a knack, though, for creating and building. These two brothers were amazing inventors. They are the creators of the very first working airplane. Okay? Their interest in flight began with the gift from their father. They were young when they got this toy. It was a flying toy. The two boys were impressed by the toy. They promised each other that one day they would fly just like that toy did. All right, so I'm going to stop there for a minute and come back over here. Okay. Two brothers who invented they invented the first working airplane, creators of the very first working airplane. So I want to make sure I say that over here. two brothers who invented the first working aircraft or airplanes, what I should say. Okay, Wright brothers believe they were great inventors because they liked creating and inventing. They like creating and building things. Okay. Do I agree that they were great inventors? I agree. I agree that the I agree that they were excellent inventors, and I'm going to get evidence from the text. I agree that they were excellent inventors because in the text it says that they both loved mechanics. Let's see what else. While the boys were in high school, their mother got a disease. Weaver ended up quitting high school to take care of his mother. Orville also left school to start a printing business. Both of the brothers designed a printing press. They had a press for 2 years. Then they opened a bicycle shop. While at the bicycle shop, they came up with the idea of an airplane. After years of work, they created a glider. They tested the glider in 1900. The glider failed to fly. The brothers did not cry over spilled milk. Instead, they tried again in 1901. They still needed to improve their design. The brothers tested over 200 wing and frame designs. In 1902, they came up with a successful unpowered glider. After that, the brothers designed an engine to power a plane. This plane was a two-propeller plane. They began testing the plane in 1903. After a trial with the engine starting, the brothers were able to fly the plane for 12 seconds. The first airplane was called the Flyer. The plane flew 120 feet. The flight took place in a town called Kitty Hawk. This town was in North Carolina. This was the first successful flight ever. Only 2 days later, the plane flew for 59 seconds. Throughout the next years, the brothers kept creating more planes. Eventually, they formed the Wright Company. They also built and sold the airplanes. Okay, the now famous plane, the Wright Flyer, is on display at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. It's an amazing piece of history. Okay, so I agree that they were excellent inventors because in the text, it says, that they were great inventors because in the text it says they came up with the idea of an airplane when they had a bicycle shop and they tested it and failed numerous times, but they never gave up. Okay, so I can say something like that. Okay, let's say something like that. So I agree that they were excellent inventors because in the text it says when they owned a bicycle shop, they created and tested a glider. They tested the glider. They tested over 200 wing and frame designs. In 1902, they came up with a successful unpowered glider. Okay. They tested over 200 wing and frame designs. Okay. So I agree that they were excellent inventors because in the text it says when they owned a bicycle shop, they created and tested a glider which failed, but they didn't give up. They tested over 200 wing and frame designs until in 1902 they came up with a successful unpowered glider. Okay, so they tested over 200 wing and frame designs until in 1902. 1902, they came up with a successful unpowered glider. Until in 1902, they successfully came up with an unpowered glider. Okay. And it also says here they designed an engine to power a plane. This plane was a two-propeller plane. They did trials on it. Okay, I could say more information here. I could say they designed an engine to power a plane. Okay, I can say that. In 1902, they successfully came up with an unpowered glider. They also, according to the text, they also created an engine to power an airplane. Okay, excuse that message there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I don't need to say anything else. I can say that the now famous plane, the Wright Flyer, is on display, which became, it's on display now at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. I can say that. According to the text, they also created an engine to power an. According to the text, they also created a two propeller plane. This plane was a two propeller plane. Okay. According to, they also created an engine to power a two propeller plane, which now is on display in the, and I wasn't trying to type sentences, but I'm getting my ideas here. It's now on display in the National Air and Space Museum. According to they also created an engine to power a two propeller plane called the Wright Flyer, which now is on display in the National Air and Space Museum. National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. Okay, now I just need my conclusion. Clearly, one can see how the Wright brothers were amazing inventors. Okay. All right, so now I can type my paragraph now. Okay, I read the text. Take this out. Read the text. The Wright brothers I read the text. The Wright brothers. It is, okay, I'm gonna take this out. It is an informational, take this black line, this line out, take the lines out. It is an informational text that is mostly about, let's see, what did I put? Mostly about two brothers who invented the first working airplane. Okay. Okay. I read the text. It is information text that is mostly about how two brothers created the first working airplane. Okay, take these lines out. We don't want them in there. Leave them out. Okay, the character's point of view. Okay, I don't need to say the characters. I'm going to say the brother's point of view. The brother's point of view what did I say? They believe they were great inventors because they like creating and building things. Okay, the brother's point of view about, and I don't have to say point of view, the brother's point of view about, I don't have to say it like that. I can say the brothers believe they were, what did I say? The brothers believe they were great inventors because they like creating and building things. The brothers believe they were great inventors because they like creating and building things. Okay, I agree. See, my opinion is similar to theirs. My opinion is similar to theirs because I think when you love mechanics, my opinion is similar to theirs because I think when you love mechanics, okay, what did I say? I agree that they were excellent inventors because in the text it says when they owned a bicycle shop, they created and tested the glider. So I can copy all of this that I wrote right here. Okay, Control C, and I'm going to paste it. Okay. I agree that they were excellent inventors because in the text it says when they owned a bicycle shop. Okay, now I already said how my opinion is similar or different because I said I agree with them. Okay, so now I just need to do my conclusion. What did I say? Clearly, one can see how the Wright brothers were amazing inventors. Control C, and I'm going to paste this. Control V. Okay, and I don't need this part. So now I can read my paragraph. And then a little bit, I read the text, The Wright Brothers. It is an informational text that is mostly about how two brothers created the first working airplane. The brothers believe, and I need to take that out, no apostrophe there. The brothers believe they were great inventors because they like creating and building things. I agree that they were excellent inventors because in the text it says when they owned a bicycle shop, they created and tested a glider which failed, but they didn't give up. They tested over 200 wing and frame designs until in 1902 they successfully came up with an unpowered glider. According to the text, they also created an engine to power a two-propeller plane later called the Wright Flyer, which now is on display in the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. Clearly, one can see how the Wright brothers were amazing inventors and did not give up on their dreams and did not give up on their dreams. Okay, and that's what you have to do. So I'm going to stop sharing. Make sure you do your SPO first, and then you do the framed paragraph. So I'm going to stop sharing.